when you don't have time, you don't have money, you don't have, or you don't know how to do it, all the information I gave you is not going to help you. So that's why I came up with this class and say, if you organize your prep, if you know what you're going to eat during the week, it's easier for you to follow that diet, to follow that lifestyle. If you don't have a meal ready by the time to eat, you're going to say, oh, whatever, I'm going to grab something from the fast food place or from the fridge and something frozen. Make it easy for you, for yourself. Just organize your meals and then you don't have to worry about it.
Welcome to the Plant-Based DFW Podcast Weekly Show with Dr. Riz and Maya, a show broadcasted from the Dallas-Fort Worth area that focuses on lifestyle medicine. This is the use of evidence-based lifestyle therapeutic approaches, such as a whole food plant-based diet, regular physical exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management to treat, prevent, and oftentimes reverse lifestyle-related chronic diseases that are all too prevalent. Every week, they feature a guest who speaks on one of these lifestyle medicine pillars. This show is for you, the person who is seeking to improve your overall wellness and quality of life. So whether you are driving, walking, or relaxing at home, we hope this show will provide you one more tool for your wellness toolbox. Let's meet today's podcast guest.
Katya Garbiz was born and raised in Mexico and is currently living in Florida. She's passionate about everything related to nutrition, which is why she studied nutrition at the autonomous Metropolitan University of Mexico. She is a licensed nutritionist in the state of Florida and is dedicated to promoting a plant-based diet through different social networks. She is an active member of the Academy of Food and Nutrition, the largest organization of nutritionists and dietitians in the United States. She currently has the eCornell plant-based nutrition certification from the Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies, lifestyle medicine, and vegetarian nutrition certification from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. You can learn more about Katya by visiting her website, Veggisima.com. I hope you enjoyed this episode. So, welcome, Katya.
Maya, thank you so much. I'm so honored, so happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. This is an awesome resource for a lot of people that want to take control of their health. So thank you, Maya, for doing all you do.
Well, thank you. I should say a couple of things. You're in Florida right now. Right. You live in Florida, but you have also been plant-based much longer than I have. So you have an interesting story of how you got started and all the things that you have seen along the way.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I didn't start, I wasn't plant-based until I became a mom. Fortunately, it wasn't my career as a dietitian. I remember this, it's been, I had to say it, but 25 years since I graduated, a long time ago.
Wow, you look so good.
Thank you. But it's so sad because when I went to school to get my degree in nutrition, I remember when the professor said, oh yeah, and there's a type of people or a group of people that don't eat any animal products, but don't worry, you won't see them a lot, so don't worry. And that was it in my in the career in college. And I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about it. So when I started working as a dietitian, there was a lady. I was in a nursing home working, and there was a lady, she was vegetarian. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to give her. I don't know, maybe salad, maybe lettuce, maybe, I don't know. But I was like, this is not good. This is not right. I'm a dietitian. I'm supposed to know. But we didn't have that training by the time I went to school. I think now it's more common to have that plant-based. But back then I was like, this is sad. This is pathetic. So until I became a mom, I started looking at nutrition in a sense of what's best for us, what's best for the animals, what's best for nature, for the world, right? So I stumbled on the plant-based movement, but on the ethical side of it. My dad has been an activist, an animal rights activist in Mexico. He's big on it. And my dad had a radio station, a program. So he was like, you know what, I want you to come over or talk on my radio program about nutrition, about plant-based, about vegan diets, really. Because he was talking about, how vegan diet, it's good for the animals and the earth and all of that. So I went and I started participating in his radio program. And I saw a lot of interest of people asking and curious about the whole thing, And I was like, wow, this is something that we need to explore more. So it's funny because by that time, my mom, my dad, and me went into the vegan world, eating, plant-based. And it was funny because before we never thought of talk about it. We never thought about it, but that time was like when our brain, we had the click, right? So it was very interesting. I started reading more. I started educating myself. And then is how Veggisima was born. Because I thought, well, all these people that are listening to the radio program want more information, recipes. And I had the opportunity and I consider myself very lucky because I have access to all that information from all these doctors, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Bernard from PCRM, you name it. I mean, there are so many. So it's when I started putting all this information in Spanish so people that don't know English could access it.
Were you one of the first people who started providing this information in Spanish?
No. Actually, there's other people that started before me, long time before me. I mean, in the 70s, even the 60s. Actually, there's a book written by this lady it's a recipe book. It's just vegetarian recipe book. And I think it was back in the 70s when she created that recipe book. Mm-hmm. So it's been around. It's just not, it wasn't as popular as now. It's growing, but we still have a long way to go, way to go. But it's slowly but surely, because it's just, I don't know, your heritage is Hispanic. So we relate food as something that will bring us pleasure, will remind us of abuelita, grandma. So it's so hard to relearn everything because you don't need meat, and you have that belief, that you need meat to grow, to be healthy. So it takes time. It takes time to, digest all that information.
That is true. And we should say that your blog, Veggisima, is kind of a play on words because in Spanish, it would mean, Veggisima would mean beautiful.
Right.
Exactly. And the way that you spell it, Veggisima, it's kind of a combination. You're vegan, but a beautiful vegan.
Right, yeah. And I changed it a little bit because bello is beautiful, but mm-hmm. it's with B. Mm-hmm. And Veggisima is with V. So veggies from veggies, isimo means a lot, isimo. So Veggisima, lots of veggies, but also like Veggisimo, like beautiful, right? So it's just, my husband came up with a name and I was like, yay, I like it.
I love it. It's what drew me to you. Your blog, your website is what drew me to you when I started going through it and I saw your timeline of when you got started. You mentioned your dad and speaking on his radio show in 2011. And then soon after, you start meeting some of the pioneers in the plant-based world, some of the pioneer dietitians.
Yes.
And I was just so excited going through, and I was like, oh my gosh, and you went through this and you went through that. And by the way, the year that you became certified in lifestyle medicine, 2019, was the same year my husband did in Orlando.
Oh my God.
Yes, so that means you were there.
We were there.
Yeah, so exactly. But it's amazing how we start to find each other. In this world. Well, and
I love it because that's the thing. That's the community that we can build, and it's so important when we talk. When we train for take the test for the certification, social support is so important. So, and not just for people that want to change to this lifestyle, but also as a professional, because sometimes you feel lonely because nobody believes in plant-based diet. So it's so nice to have other professionals believe in this. So that's why I get so excited when I hear or know more professionals that follow a plant-based diet and a lifestyle medicine and all that.
I feel the same way, even though my background is in education. I'm not a nutritionist, but I will say you mentioned something that was very key in terms of our Hispanic background and the culture. And I didn't study nutrition, but I took a course in nutrition in college. And I was mainly because I was afraid. I sort of had kind of an eating disorder. I was afraid to gain weight, but I was very skinny, so I needed to gain weight. So I wondered, how can I gain weight in a healthy way? Nice. And somewhere along the lines in my exposure in college, I saw what happens with cows. And from the time that they're hung by their feet, how they're killed and butchered and all of that. And in college, I made a decision that I would no longer eat red meat or pork. So you can imagine all the foods that we typically eat in our families, like everything from menudo to chicharrón, taquitos, barbacoa, everything.
And if it's something that probably you are like, oh yeah, this is vegetarian, this is plant-based, but then they add the lard, or they add unos beans, refried beans, they add lard. I'm like, oh no, you ruin it. So it's like so engraved into our culture or our food, no? So it's that's why it's hard, but not impossible. And we have to evolve. We have to, not because changing to a plant-based diet, you will lose all your heritage or all your culture. That's not part of the culture. Being a plant-based, you're still eating all the fruits, all the vegetables, all the legumes that, I don't know, in Mexico, we have so many plant-based foods that people don't realize that they eat plant-based food. I mean, they eat it, but when you say vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, oh, no, I can't. Okay, so do you have beans? Oh, yeah, beans and rice. Oh, yeah, lots of fruit. Oh, yeah, I don't know, veggies. Oh, yeah, so you eat it. You eat it. You don't have to quit. You don't have to quit your culture.
At that time, I wasn't vegan, but I was more vegetarian. And I can't say that I was healthy, but I wasn't eating red meat and pork and a lot of other things. But when I moved away from where my family lives for a long time ago. So when I would visit, I usually would always take my own groceries. Like I was already drinking nut milk and doing like rice cakes. I didn't even know what I was really doing. But when I would have dinner with my family, I would only eat the tortillas, the frijoles, like the beans, the rice,
the beans,
salsa.
Exactly.
And really, sometimes my mom would say, what can I make for you? Because she knew I didn't eat that way. So what's interesting, I say that for a reason. What's interesting is that now that I am living a plant-based life and I'm trying to help my mother because she has diabetes and she's had 2 strokes already. And I tell her about the plant-based diet one day, and I took her to PCRM's program early before COVID. One day she looked at me and she said, "You've been eating this way for a while?" And I said, "Mom, you don't remember for the last 25 years, I have not been eating meat. How do you not remember?" But now it's a big deal. Whereas before, if you did it quietly and didn't say anything, no one kind of really noticed. But now it's becoming more important. And so I'm happy that you're here because you can talk to us about what it's like to work with people in general. But what do you see when you work with Spanish-speaking people of any background? What are some of the struggles that you see? And feel free to share anything. I guess let's start from the beginning. Like, you went vegan.
Correct.
First for the animals. And then, but you were already a nutritionist.
Yes, I became vegan. I was already a dietitian. And it's when I, discovered that there were a lot of people that wanted to change too. And it's that, helped me see what they want, what they need. And unfortunately, what I have noticed, and at least what the people that follow me or my clients are coming from the ethical perspective. So a lot of times they just want to stop killing animals, suffering and all that, but they don't take it in account their health. So what they do, they go into a vegan diet, but they get sick because they eat fast food, junk food, because there is a lot of vegan foods that are junk and are not healthy. So that's a hard thing, the beliefs that they have. Okay, no, I just care about the animals. I don't care what I eat. If they don't have animal products, I'm fine. But then to change that belief or that mindset to say, you know what, no, you're an animal first. You have to take care of yourself, because if you get sick, they're going to say, see, it's because you are not eating meat and you're malnourished. And so it's very important for us to be healthy. And I'm not saying that we're not going to get sick and we're going to be immortals. No, we get sick. We will die eventually. But we have to take care of our health, because you want to take care of the animals or the environment. You have to take care of you. So I've seen that mindset in the people that I help, and say, if you help yourself, your body to be healthy, that's going to give another perspective to the people that don't believe in a plant-based diet or lifestyle. So it's very important that they change their mindset and say, you know what, I'm doing it because for me too, not just for the animals.
I like the point that you just made, because as I evolved also as a vegan and plant-based, I discovered, oh my goodness, you guys have such a movement in Florida. I'm jealous. You have so many options. And when we have been there in the, of course, further south, like almost like starting Palm Beach, and as we go south, we find more and more restaurants, and you have a variety. Like you said, you have the vegan foods, and then you have like these in raw restaurants and plant-based. And it's and then of course the vegan organizations that are out there are also impressive.
I don't know why, but I feel lucky because we have options. We have, a community. I've participated in different veg fests with the Vegetarian Nutrition Dietetic Practice Group. So I got to see all these people that Messina, Joy, all these dietitians and professionals going to those veg fests. So it's been a very, very nice journal towards, the plant-based lifestyle that I follow.
And I do ask people this often too, because of last year, 2020, there were a lot of limitations. Were you still seeing clients?
Yes, all my work is online. All my work, because most of my clients or followers or everything I do is online. So it didn't change much for me. Just when everything went online, people, well, I could notice there were so many other stuff going on, like adjusting to all these changes. So, it decreased a little bit of people being able to, be in classes or taking or watching webinars or live, things like that. But yeah, everything is online.
If you want to talk to us about some of the things that you offer on your blog, but I noticed that you have a course on how to get started in the kitchen, just how to meal prep and do all of that.
Yeah. Actually, I came up with that class just because I've noticed that when I was like, okay, don't any animal product. This is the list, and then add these other plant-based foods, so you have all your nutrients. But then all other factors, when you change a habit, came to play in the in the whole thing. So I don't have time. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how where to get this or where to get that. So for me, it's more important that your time, how to manage your time in the kitchen, because I can tell you, don't eat this, eat that, or change it for this and that. But when you don't have time, you don't have money, you don't have, or you don't know how to do it, all the information I gave you is not going to help you. So that's why I came up with this class and say, if you organize your prep, if you know what are you going to eat during the week, it's easier for you to follow that diet, to follow that lifestyle. If you don't have a meal ready by the time to eat, you're going to say, oh, whatever, I'm going to grab something from the fast food place or from the fridge and something frozen. So make it easy for you, for yourself. Just organize your meals, and then you don't have to worry about it. And it would be easier. It's going to be easier for you to follow a plant-based diet. So that's why I was like, you know what? I've been saying, eat this, eat that, just don't substitute this for that. By the time people wanted to make changes, they were like, oh, I haven't because I don't have time. And it's a learning process. So it takes time. When you managed all this information, when you process all this information, it's like, oh, yeah, whatever. I do this and that, and I prep that. And that's it. No, but when you're learning, when you're starting, it's like, oh, overwhelming. Oh, my God, I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to put. So it's a tool. It's a tool that for me is very important for the change, for when you transition into a plant-based.
Right, because I've heard you say in another talk that when you finally make that change, you realize, oh my goodness, this was much easier than I expected. So right. I was just thinking, we might have listeners that have never actually heard exactly what a plant-based diet consists of. I mean, we talk about it all the time here on the show, but I thought maybe you can kind of cover it just a little bit for people that are listening for the first time. Like, what is a plant-based diet, and why is it one of the most optimal diets as opposed to the other trends that we see now on television and everywhere?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Well, a plant-based diet is a way of eating. It's not a diet. It's a way of eating, because dieting, usually they say, oh, I'm dieting because I want to look good, or I'm dieting because detox or whatever. But this is a lifestyle. This is forever. This is not just for the summer to look good. So it's a way of eating. And everything that you eat comes from a plant. And then there is variations. There is like whole food plant-based diets where you don't add any processed food. And then part of that is no oil. So you don't eat or consume oils, like liquid oils, because they are inflammatory. So plant-based diet is really everything that comes from a plant. Everything that you can name, the roots, the leaves, the flower, broccoli is the flower of the broccoli is a flower. So everything that comes from a plant. And then you don't eat any food that comes from animals. So that's a roughly explanation. And then the why I think this way of eating is the best, just because eating a plant-based diet, you eat all the antioxidants that nature gives you. All the colors that you see in these plants have antioxidants. So these will help you, with your health. Also, you have all the fiber. Fiber is present only in plant-based foods, not in animal foods. And fiber is going to help you get rid of toxins. It will help you make you feel, fuller when you eat. So many vitamins, minerals. Really, I mean, it's the way of getting all your vitamins and minerals. A lot of people and a lot of when they say, oh, you know what, you have to take your vitamins, but we never say, okay, let me eat first the right food, and then if I need it, I will add supplements. But we go right into the supplements. Oh no, I need vitamin C and I need zinc, or but we don't say, oh, okay, you know what, let me eat the right food before adding all the supplements. Because when you eat the vitamins and the minerals and all those other fiber, and they work together. Together, they will work better. So in a supplement, you will have only vitamin C, but you don't have the rest of the nutrients that will help in the process of getting that energy, that vitamin, that mineral. So it's very important that you eat the whole thing to get everything from it, no? So that's why I think it's so important to eat whole, to decrease all the processed food, because they are high in salts, sugar, oils, and low in fiber. So they don't give you any benefit, really.
It's interesting. I'm so glad you cover all of that too, because it's you're talking about eating the food whole. And that's what mainly, a whole food plant-based diet consists of. And
Exactly.
And I love that, if we stay on this path and we become more informed, learning from people like yourself, then we kind of get an idea of what to eat. We start improving it and transitioning. And you went vegan for ethical reasons. I went vegan to not eat animals, but it wasn't ethical till later. But later I started learning about what happens with the animals. And but I was eating what my husband calls vegan food, standard American style.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I like it because it's true. Yeah, we're becoming what the standard American diet is. I mean, now we have more and more processed products, vegan, plant-based processed products.
Yes.
And we are falling into the same thing. We are not getting the nutrition for those from those foods.
Yeah, it's still industry driven. So big industries are making now options available for vegans, but they're still processed foods. So no one's going to push you to eat a carrot.
Yeah, which is sad, because when we start eating all these processed foods, our taste buds change. So when you go back to eat a carrot, you're gonna be like, this doesn't taste to anything. This is, it's not good. It doesn't taste good. Mm-hmm. But you need that flavor for your brain to say, I want more of that, right? Mm-hmm. That's why the processed food is so addictive, because it's so intense. The flavors are so intense. And then when you go to a simple carrot, it's like, that doesn't taste to anything. It's like cardboard, right? So that's a very, very point to take in consideration when you are, changing your diet, because a lot of people think that eating a plant-based diet doesn't taste right. But because of that, because we're used to the intense flavors of the processed food and the meat and all those animal products, right? So you have to give a chance to your taste buds to get used to it. I know it happens, because it happened to me when, for example, I don't eat any sugar, right? And when I try something, a vegan ice cream, or it's like, oh my God, or salty, or So that will tell you, oh, wow, how might your taste buds will change, right? So give it a chance, give it some time, and you will get to it.
Right. And so now I didn't prep you for this question on COVID. So feel free to answer however you'd like. But so we always have our reasons why we want to encourage people to eat more plants. We're like you, we're vegan, ethical. We are ethical vegans. We also understand eating more plants is just plain good for your health and also for the environment. But now more than ever, I see my husband and what he's battling in the hospitals with COVID patients. And I always tell him, you have to go on social media and tell people this. You have to talk more about it, because how else are people going to know? But so there were a couple of things that as to why the plant-based diet is very beneficial for people in general. We know this as well, that being overweight can put you at a very high risk for having complications if you happen to get the virus. Also hypertension, diabetes, and other things like that. And some people may say, well, I'm perfectly healthy, I'm fine. But we don't know what is happening inside of our body, because disease takes time to build, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
I don't know if you can talk more about how either you've seen this with clients that you worked, or you just know in general that if you eat more plant-based diets, people are able in some cases to reverse their diabetes, to improve their cholesterol, their hypertension, and also weight loss, which puts them on a better fighting end, so that if they are to get COVID, they can recover better.
All diseases are inflammatory, right? All the diseases that you can think of is because of inflammation. So when you get sick, especially now with COVID, and your body's already inflamed, you are adding fire to the fire. And that's why it's hard to get out of it, or unfortunately, a lot of people lose their lives because of that, because we are so inflamed that when you do something, your immune system is already so irritated that when you add a little bit more, it will explode. It's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, no? So it's funny how we have, the Army, the Navy, and they prepare, they train, for just in case we have a conflict or a war or something, but they train, they get hard, they work hard, so they are ready just in case. But our soldiers inside us, the immune system, we don't keep it healthy. We just pollute our immune system, right? Our gut, it's 80% of our immune system, and what we do, we put trash, we trash it, we don't take care of it. So our gut is inflamed. If our gut is inflamed, our brain is inflamed, our system, the whole body is inflamed. And that's why we see all these problems with people that have obesity or diabetes, hypertension, because your body is already tired, it's already upset, it's already inflamed, and it's unable to take care of other infection, other fire, right? So that's why it's so important to see it as a lifestyle and not just for now. I mean, it's so important to say, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And not just, right now, because COVID, I'm just going to take my pills, my vitamin D, my zinc, but we don't look into what we eat, how we exercise, how we sleep, all those things that will affect your outcome if you get COVID, right?
And how all those things can affect our outcome, exactly, as you say, is so important. What do you think about vitamin D? I've heard people talk about how that could help the body's immune system.
Yeah, definitely. Vitamin D can help our immune system. And what happened when almost a year ago, when COVID just exploded everywhere and we were afraid, we went inside our house, and now we are not getting the sun, right? So what we did is just went inside the house, sit and watch TV, Netflix, and then get nervous, and anxiety, depression, all those went up. So we did all the bad things that we shouldn't be doing. We should should have stayed outside as much as we can, if it's possible, outside, to get vitamin D, to exercise, to eat right. But what happened? We went to the store. We bought all the cans that we could, put it in the pantry, thinking, oh, this is for like 2-3 weeks. But then we end up eating it in 2 days, right? So we started eating more of the wrong food. We didn't exercise. We didn't go outside. And of course, it's like a mess. This is a perfect storm for any virus, any bacteria, parasite, any infection to affect our health. Mm-hmm. So yeah, vitamin D is definitely one of the vitamins that they have shown to have good effects or positive effects.
Awesome. Is there a specific one?
There's 2 types, but now the D3 it comes from animal sources, but now they came up with a D3 from a plant. So you have to read the label really and see where it's coming from. Cholecalciferol is from animal source. So you really have to look into that. Now, if you are, starting with this, there's so many products on Amazon. You can just look at them, find one that says vegan or vegetarian, and you will find lots of them. I really don't recommend any specific brand, but definitely if you don't go outside to take the sun, or to have the sun, or if you live in the north, or if you have dark skin, or if you're older, definitely, we need to supplement with vitamin D.
Well, I want you to know that my husband and I would have been spending more time in Florida if it had not been for the virus.
I know.
We love Florida so much. You're so
I know.
lucky.
I consider myself very lucky, because we have everything. We don't have mountains, but we have beaches. So yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So what are some common questions that you find in general from clients, whether they're Hispanic or not? I'm just always curious. I know that one of the biggest struggles is preparation, or not knowing where to start, but what are some other maybe even myths that people have about the diet and health in general?
One thing that I notice a lot with the people that come to me is how to tell my family that I'm not eating meat or dairy, so the social factor is so important. Because if you feel lonely, if you feel like everybody's against you, or everybody's looking at you like, oh, she's so weird. So of course that will be a barrier to change. So you have to see how, I don't know, some people just say, talk to their family, say, for now on, I'm going to eat just plant-based. You don't have to, whatever you need to do, but feel that it's for you. You don't do it for others. Don't stop changing, or don't stop the transition just because others are, not being supportive. But what I really recommend is to have a social support. And right now, having a virtual social support is so easy. And where you can find different situations, different ideas, how do you manage your boyfriend or your husband or your mom if you're a teenager? What do you tell them, right? So I've been lucky, because a lot of young customers that decide to do the transition get their mom and say, bring your mom, bring your parents, let's talk and see what they think. And I've had a couple of them that the parents changed because of their kids. So which is like, oh, this is so cool. This is so amazing.
And in some ways, you do offer that sense of community and support when you go live. Because
Yes.
I've watched you go live, and by the way, I'm a lay person and I know about plant-based foods, but I still love to participate and watch everything because that's how we connect. It's like we're finding each other and people can chat on the side or ask questions. How often do you go live?
I do lives and then I do webinars. And most of them are from Mexico, but I have from Argentina, from Colombia, or also people, the Spanish-speaking people that live in France or Germany or from different parts, but mainly Mexico, But there's even from here, from the US. That, Latinas.
Yeah. I came to this information in English first, and then again, I started noticing, oh my gosh, PCRM is doing something. The Center for Nutrition, Dr. Campbell's organization.
Yeah, I'm helping with the translations. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So I work with them to translate their information from the website. So we're translating all the recipes, all the information they have. So yes, I helped Dr. Greger translate some of their videos too.
You helped Dr. Greger. So tell us more. Okay, so first let me kind of clarify in case people didn't hear, but the organization that's under Dr. Campbell's name, the Center for Nutrition Studies. Oh, it's only been recently that I started seeing more content in Spanish. Are you saying you're part of that?
Yes, I'm part of it, and I'm very happy. Evelise, who is in charge of the Spanish website, invited me. She lives here in Florida. We live 2 hours away. So we met, like 10 years ago, if I remember well, in a vegan conference. And we were like, oh, yeah, Español. And, we got like, oh my gosh, where do you live? No, in Florida. Oh my gosh, I live in Florida. And then it's how I met her. And then she was like, you know what, we're trying to develop this Spanish website. Will you help me? I'm like, of course. So I never in my life imagined that being a bilingual dietitian would help me, open doors. Like, you never know, right? So I was like, absolutely, let me help you. And I've been, helping translate some of their articles, recipes. I also have recipes there that I made myself. So yeah, it's like funny how life works, right?
Yes. Congratulations, because I receive from the newsletter in Spanish updates of what classes are coming up, and I'm starting to sign up for my mom again because she prefers the information in Spanish.
Right. And actually we had a virtual conference. It was November. So it's in their website, the Spanish website. And it was the whole day. It was great. So you should look it up because from your mom, I'm sure she's going to love it. We had recipes, we had different doctors, and everything is in Spanish.
And I think I saw Evelise Capó, is her last name, I think?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I saw her. It might have been PCRM when they did that, like a 4-hour day thing. And she was cooking with her daughter.
Yes, she's awesome.
Yeah. I was like,
awesome.
Is she also a Food for Life instructor?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She is. She's everything. You should interview her because it's awesome.
I want to say that you guys have motivated me so much as a lay person, as a Latina in general, because my dream had always been to kind of reach out to the Spanish speaking community. And now there's all these resources like yourself. And so that's a great way to share information.
Yeah, no, thank you for all you do because really so important. It's so important to spread the word and being there for people that are trying to do the change or trying to have a plant-based diet, plant-based lifestyle. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us that you think people should know?
Yes, actually, since we are talking about lifestyle medicine, I really want to touch on the mindset, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual shifts that we have to do during the transition. It's not just diet, but also is very mental, very mental. You will see that changing your beliefs will help your immune system too. So right now that we're in the midst of COVID, it's very important that we detox our brains, our mindset, because we are, bombarded by all this negative information, right? And then when you want to change, you will find also lots of barriers, like probably your family or money, which is not when you find out more about the plant-based diet, money is not an issue. But, at the beginning, you may think all these bad things, or it's very overwhelming. So it's so important that you take care of your emotional, your mental, your spiritual part or factors, right? I'm reading, I don't know if you know this book. It's called Radical Remission from Kelly Turner. It's awesome. It's about people that survived cancer against all odds. And it's amazing because the 9 radical changes that all these people had in common, where I'm going to read it to you, radically changing your diet. And she says most of them had a plant-based diet, taking control of your health, saying, you know what, I'm not going to be the victim of my health. I'm going to be the hero here. I'm going to, overcome this if you're sick or if you have pain, whatever. The next one is following your intuition. That's hearing your body, hearing your brain, your mind, releasing suppressed emotions. That's one of 5 of them. Increasing positive emotions, embracing social support, which back again, you have to have this social support, deepening your spiritual connection, and having strong reasons for living. And like I said, that's the last one. Having strong reasons for living gives you a strong why you want to change. If you don't have a strong why, like I say, you know what, maybe I just want to look fine, fit or wear a bikini because I want to go to the beach. But once you get to that point, you're going to go back to eating junk food, or not exercising, back to the bad habits. But if you have a strong why, you're going to say, I'm doing it because I want to feel good. I want to live until I see my grandkids, strong why. So that's the last one is having a strong reason for living will help you make the transition very easy.
I love that. Having that whole sense of purpose, I love it. I guess it's a matter of perspective, but it's a wonderful time to actually get started on a plant-based diet because we are forced to kind of eat at home a lot more than before. Yeah. And as a plant-based person, I can't eat out anyway. Yeah. It's not easy.
No, it's not. But right now, like you said, this is a great time because we're not getting together. We are eating at home, we're cooking more. So you have time to explore what you like or to try different recipes. You don't have the excuse that I don't want to go to the family reunion because they're going to look at me like crazy and they're going to tell me that I'm crazy. So right now, I think it's the easiest time to change or do the transition. Yes, because of that, the same reason. Yeah, you're right.
Katya, can you tell our listeners, again, what kind of services or classes do you offer and how can people learn more about you and reach out to you if they want to become a client of yours?
Yes, thank you. Yes, definitely. Well, you can reach you can reach me at my website. It's veggisima.com. And you will see there, if you go to, unfortunately, you can translate the website. I have a button that says translate. So if you don't speak Spanish, you can translate it. But there is a section that says cursos or classes. So if you're interested, I have different classes. Right now, I took a break just because I'm trying to do all these classes online or taped. I'm taping all or recording all the classes. So people that cannot be on the live class, they can have, or they can get the online classes. So I'm doing one, how to start in the plant-based world, of how the prepping, which organizes you, how to organize your kitchen and yourself, so you can optimize your nutrition. And then one about the substitutes, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, okay, I'm gonna substitute the egg for an apple, and but they don't have the same nutritional value. And they need to know that if you are going to substitute an egg, you have to have something with a similar nutritional
like a profile.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So I am doing that because a lot of people, they come up and say, you know what, how do you bake? How do you, I mean, so that's how I have that. But right now I took a break. I'm taking a little break because of the recording of all of them. So I have it available for on demand. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay. And then so in social media?
Social media, I'm in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but I mainly do Facebook and Instagram.
And is it under Veggisima also?
Veggisima. Everything is Veggisima. Yes, everything is Veggisima. If you have any questions, and if you want more information about when I get the classes out, just leave me a comment or write to me, and I will let you know.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Katya. It's been so nice getting to know you a little bit more, and maybe we can do this again and go more in depth about nutrition.
Definitely. No, thank you so much, Maya. I really appreciate all of your work and your husband's work, because we have to do a community. We have to, be together in this, and more because, there's other diets out there. So thank you so much for inviting me, Maya. Thank you for everybody that is listening, and keep in touch, and hopefully we can see each other next year, or this year.
Yeah, you never know.
Yes, exactly.
You've been listening to the Plant-Based DFW podcast show. If you like our content, please like, share, and leave a review. Our goal is to provide quality episodes to help support the community.